Hi everyone, welcome to Java Techie. In this tutorial, I would like to show you how we could achieve video streaming with Spring Web Flux. Okay, alright. Let's discuss what is video streaming means. Let's say you are watching some movie in Netflix or Amazon Prime, or you are watching some video tutorial over YouTube. Then how this video streaming happens. So let me go to my YouTube. Next, when I play any video from this YouTube browser, let's say I just want to play this Mr. Bean funny video, and I will click on this play button. Okay. So in that case, YouTube browser will not download all the video content. It gets some content first while it is playing the content. It also gets next few chunk in a streaming fashion. So if you observe, initially it give me this content, and then this YouTube browser will keep sending requests to the YouTube server to get the next chunk of video. You can find that if you see this progress bar, you can see it's keep going, right? It means this browser is keep sending requests to the YouTube server to get next chunk of bytes to show this video to the end user. So they want to keep engage user to watch the video. That's what they are using this streaming fashion. Often at time, the user will also try to watch the video somewhere in middle by clicking dragging the seek bar. So this seek bar, as a user, I can directly watch the video from here. So in that case, there is no need in getting these video chunks from the beginning. Instead, the client will request the server to serve the video content from specified byte index. So wherever I click from that particular index, this YouTube browser client will send request to the server, and server will serve the bytes accordingly based on user event. For example, once again, let's say I just want to see the or I just want to watch the video from here. Okay. So in that case, from 0 to this time duration, the byte content will be not loaded by YouTube. It will just load from the index where I just click the event. From there, it will request YouTube server to get the next chunk of video. So usually this is how Netflix, Amazon Prime or YouTube, any other streaming platform keep the user engaged with the video instead of having the user to wait for whole content to download. So what we'll do in this tutorial, let's demonstrate this video streaming concept with Spring Web Flux. Basically, we'll add one hard-coded video file in our project directory. Then we'll try to load that in browser and we'll see how this streaming works over there. Okay. So let's get started. So let's quickly create a Spring Boot project. Click on File, Project, click Next. So I'll change the group ID here, com.javatechie. Then artifact ID, I will specify Spring Web Flux video streaming. I will give the same name as my project name. Change the JDK version to 8. Also, I will change the package name. Let's say com.javatechie.stream, streaming, something like that. Okay. Click on Next. So I just need to add only web dependency, which is Spring Web. It's not Spring Web. We just need to add Spring Reactive Web. Okay. Now click Next. Then click on Finish. Open it in the same window. So it's downloading the latest dependency. So let's wait it to complete. Fine. It seems it downloaded all the latest dependency version. Now what I will do, I just want to load one single video. So for time being, I can add that video folder here. So inside main, I will go to the resource. I will create a folder called, let's say I will give the directory videos. Usually you should not hard code or add any video in your project directory. It should fetch from DB or any other server. Okay. For the demo purpose, I am just adding inside the project folder itself. Just click on OK, and then I'll just add the video. This is the video. It's, I guess the size is 7 MB or 8 MB. I just added it here. Okay. Similarly, to trigger this event, I just need one HTML file. So for that, what I can do, I'll just create another directory called static. Inside that, I will just create one index file or HTML file. Okay. Just create this folder. Then just go to the Java package and let me create a class called streaming service. So I'll create a class, let's say streaming streaming service. Okay, I'll simply annotate here @service. Fine. Now what I can do, I'll just write a webflux method who will load the videos and it will return as a resource. Okay, so for that what I can do, I'll just write public mono because this is a single resource, and type is I'm just giving a resource. Okay, so if you observe, we just need to pass the proper one, which will be org.springframework.core.io. Okay, so just add it here. Then what I'll do, I'll just write a method called get video. There may be a chance we can have n number of video, so I will just give a variable called title. Based on the title, we just need to filter that. Okay, so currently we have only one video. This is not required, but let's add it. Now what next? To load that video from the resource, we need one resource loader, right? So I'll just create a resource loader. This also should org.springframework.core.io. Okay, so I'll just give it resource loader. I just need to inject it using auto add. Fine. Then simply I can write return mono from supplier. Fine. Then here I can directly load the resource from the resource folder. So simply I can write resource loader. Okay, then just get the resource, give the format. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll just use string dot format. So format will be in MP4, and title, which we are already giving, right? Title, and the format will be in MP4. So what I'll do, I'll just define a variable private static final string. I'll give it format. It should get from the class path. Okay, and the folder called videos. Okay, and the format is .mp4. Fine. Then just add this semicolon and give this format here. Okay, so I can directly pass this format. Fine. So let me break down this so that it will be visible. Yeah, just add the semicolon. So just load the resource from the corresponding folder in the pattern of .mp4. Okay, now what we'll do, we'll just create a controller. So I can directly write it here. So I'll just annotate @rest controller. Then I'll just write a endpoint here, public, who will return me the mono of resource. Okay, so I can specify that mono of resource, it should from org.springframework.core.io. Let's say get videos. I just need to pass the title. Then also I just need to pass the range. Okay, as I already mentioned, based on the event, I just want to get the bytes from that particular range, in between that range. Okay, so I don't want to load all the byte. Based on the given range, I just want to load the bytes. That's the reason I just added this range attribute, and I just want to pass this as part of request header. Fine, and I can specify here, let's say range. Fine, and also this I need to annotate @path variable. So what I'll do, I'll just use get mapping. Then I'll specify the URL, which is value. I'll give something called video slash path variable, which is our title, right? Then also I just need to specify the format, which is produces. So we are just producing the MP4 type, right? So make sure you need to add this video slash MP4. This is the HTTP media type you need to specify. Fine. Now you just need to inject the service private streaming service. I just need to inject using auto add. So just add it here. Then I can simply call this, right? Return service service dot get video of title. So what I'll do here, I'll just add the print statement so that you can see the range. Okay, is out. I just want to print range in bytes. Based on event click, I can show you what is the byte size it load. The actual video bytes is different, and what exactly bytes it's loading based on the event, or in the next chunk how many bytes it is getting from the server. So for that I just want to print this. Fine. So we just created the endpoint. We need to trigger this endpoint. We are not going to access this through the postman. So we'll write a index file, index.html file. We'll configure this URL there, and we'll just hardcode our one video there. Okay. So for that I will just create a HTML file. Let's say HTML file. I'll name it index.html. Then I have the content. I'll just copy paste. Just add it here. So there is something I added the bootstrap, and if you observe in video src I am giving the URL video. This will be my title. Based on that, resource loader will load the Java Techie video from my videos directory or the folder which I created. Okay, this is the straightforward. I just mapped the URL, endpoint URL. Fine. I guess we are good. Now what I will do, I will just run my application. Let's go to the main class. Let's run this. It's taking time, I guess. Yeah, so if you observe, it started, right? Started on port 8080. Now let me go to incognito mode. Then I will just try the endpoint URL, okay, which will be http, then sorry, not this, semicolon, localhost, and then 8080, right? Just enter it. You can see there is a video streaming. So once I will click on this plus, I will show you. Let me inspect it so that I can show you. This browser will keep sending the request to the server. Let's format this properly. Let's go up, click on network. So what I'll do, I'll just click on the play button. Then this client browser will keep sending requests to the server to get the few chunk or next chunk of bytes. So that range you can see here. Also you can see the status code will be 206. It means it is partial. So just let me play this. Now let me pause this. So if you observe, it's sending one Java Techie request and it's getting 206. So how can I reduce the volume? Okay, I'm not sure for that. Let me play it. I can show you. Okay, so if you observe, it's get up to this byte range. Initially it didn't load all the content. It's shown me up to this where I stopped my video. Then next to that it load few more bytes. So if you go to the console, you can see here. Let me check here whether I added this or not. Yeah, range in bytes 0. Initially it didn't load anything. That doesn't matter. Let's go back to the browser. Okay, I'll just click on this. Now if you observe, there is two consecutive requests with status code 206. Now again if you go to the console, yeah, you can see this byte range, right? Once I click the event on any index, then up to that it load the bytes and it shown me the content here. You can see here. Now if I'll click on here, see here, you can see there is n number of 206 partial call from client to server to get the content based on the user event click. Okay. Now again, if you go to the console, you can see here, right? So the total length of video is byte is different, and what you are requesting, we are getting that much content only. That's how the video streaming platform keep engaging the user to watch their content. If user will wait until the video will load, no one will go to their streaming platform to watch the video, movie or anything else, right? So this is how this streaming video streaming platform work. So for this current example, I just hard coded the one single video inside the video directory or inside my project. Similarly, I just added one static file. In real time, you no need to add these two content. You can directly play with your server directory or anywhere where you store your content. Okay, there you can download and you can perform this activity. So again, if you go to the browser, see here, I just clicked here. Again, there will be request file. You can see here there is request file. Let me clear this, and if I'll click here again, see there is 4 request file for 206 status. Now if you'll go to the IntelliJ IDE, it load the requested bytes only. Okay, yeah, this is how we can work with streaming platform using reactive programming with Spring Boot Webflux. That's all about this particular video, guys. Thanks for watching this video. Meet you soon with a new concept.